All right. Well, welcome. It's great to have such a full room today. We appreciate everybody joining us. Obviously, it's a big day for our university and for our athletic program. Lots of people to thank, lots of people to recognize. In particular, I want to thank and welcome Chancellor Jones. Appreciate him joining us on this very special day. I also want to thank King Lee, the new Dean of our College of Medicine, for joining us today. Dr. Lee, we're glad you could be with us. We look forward to many years of collaboration and partnership. Also want to give a special welcome to Kara Demersion. Kara's here, and obviously many in the room were here recently when we did a similar press conference celebrating the gift from the Demersion family to help us create Demersion Park, the new home for Illinois soccer and track and field. And I can't tell you what a difference that gift has made in opening doors and minds to other gifts of that kind of significance. And so we're grateful to her for being here and very appreciative of their family's generosity. Obviously, all of our colleagues, our friends, the media who has chosen to join us today, we appreciate each and every one of you for being with us on this very exciting day. Obviously, we're here to announce a significant gift, the most significant gift, in fact, in the history of our athletic program, $20 million from the H.D. Smith Foundation, led by Chris and Dale Smith, both of whom are good enough to be with us today, and we'll share some thoughts with you later on. The family has an unbelievable story. They moved with the father, Henry Dale, the mother, Betty, to Springfield in 1953 and 1954. Henry Dale started H.D. Smith, which was a small company at the time, pharmaceutical company that has now grown into one of the largest of its kind in the country. And just this last year, after Chris and Dale assumed leadership of the company, they were in a fortunate position of being purchased by AmerisourceBergen, a company that is now ranked number 11 on the Fortune 500 list. It's an unbelievable story. It's one of perseverance, it's one of excellence, and we are very grateful to be in a position to play one small part in this family's success. I think what's exciting about the Smith family is from the day they relocated to Springfield, they've adopted the University of Illinois in Fighting Illini athletics. And so now for 7 decades, much of their memories have been coming here to Champaign, being a part of our athletic program, attending our athletic events. And we hear those stories often, people who have formed a lot of their memories around our athletic program, and I think the Smiths are yet another example of what the power of our program can mean in the lives of our fans and of our alumni. They have been incredibly generous to us for many, many years, and of course that generosity culminates today with this exciting gift. This gift, again, $20 million in total, divided into 3 buckets, $2 million toward the new Carl, Illinois College of Medicine. Excited for that program, and I know Chris and Dale will have the opportunity to talk more about what encouraged them to participate with this new program that we believe really will be a vehicle to advance this institution for generations to come. So very grateful to them for that support. Also $3 million to assist with scholarships for degree completion, student athletes who maybe leave campus to pursue a professional career, pursue other opportunities, and then want to return and either complete their undergraduate or graduate studies, and excited about that. I know, speaking as a former football player, I have a lot of teammates who left here early, thought maybe they were going to be a professional athlete. Ultimately, it may not have worked the way that they intended it would, and excited now for there to be opportunity for them and others like them to return to our campus and complete their Illinois education. And then obviously, and most significantly, $15 million toward the construction costs of our new football performance center. In recognition of the gift, we will be naming that football performance center in honor of Henry Dale and Betty. It will be the Henry Dale and Betty Smith Football Center. Obviously, the building will be done a year from now, and look forward to celebrating this family's incredible legacy. Henry Dale passed away just a few years ago at the age of 87 in 2015. Betty continues on at age 89, one of our staunchest fans, and always up in the suites celebrating our victories and encouraging our team from up high in Memorial Stadium. But excited that this building will forever stand as a testament to their family's legacy. I think it's an incredible story. It's a story of loyalty. It's a story of family. It's a story of excellence. For me, and as I think about what a difference this will make for our athletic program, I think there are a few important points to make. Number one, it demonstrates how people continue to believe in what we're doing here in Champaign-Urbana. They understand the vision that we put in place, they understand the progress that we're making, and they're prepared to stand up and invest in our program in significant ways. I've said often that we have to think and act differently if we want to get to a different place. And this is yet another example of people thinking and acting in new and exciting ways, investing in the experience of our student athletes, investing in the future of Illinois athletics, and ultimately understanding what the role of a strong and successful athletic program can play on shining a bright spotlight on our entire university and allowing us to help propel the reputation and the community forward as we look to an even brighter future. Before I introduce Chancellor Jones, I think it's important just to reiterate that last point that I made. We've talked about this at length with Chris and Dale. We talk about it at length with a lot of our different donors about why we believe so strongly that a strong intercollegiate athletic program allows us to advance this university. It allows us to change the reputation. It allows more people to have access to what this university means in terms of our reputation, in terms of our research, in terms of our academics. It allows people to be introduced to the University of Illinois, which all of us in this room know is one of the great higher education institutions in all the world, but it's a story that maybe hasn't been told often enough. And so if we can use a strong Illinois football program, we can use a strong Fighting Illini athletic program to help tell that story in a more effective way, then all the much better for all of us who have the opportunity to work here at this great institution. One last thanks before I pass the microphone over to Chancellor Jones. I want to recognize Howard Milton and our entire development staff. These relationships were often asked about fundraising, and what I can tell you is that this gift was not 6 months in the making, it wasn't 6 years in the making. This is a gift that has been decades in the making, and Howard and his team have really done incredible work building a strong relationship with the Smith family for a long time that ultimately has yielded this opportunity for them to invest in us and for us to help them celebrate their incredible family legacy. And so we all have these wonderful hats. I'd love to give a tip of them to Howard and his crew for all the fantastic work that they have done. I love that. That's nice. All the fantastic work that they have done to help us get where we are today. So with that, obviously, want to bring up our Chancellor, someone who really does need no introduction, but again, grateful to him for being with us today and helping us celebrate this very memorable moment in the history of our program. Chancellor Robert Jones.
Thank you. Whoops. Thank you, Josh. And let me begin by saying what an honor and a pleasure it is for me to be here with all of you this afternoon. These are certainly very exciting days, the beginning of a new semester, where we are welcomed just a couple of days ago. One of the largest classes in the history, first-year classes in the history of the university, with over 7,600 first-year students. And now we're here today to recognize the generosity of some very important folks who have deep connections to this university, and those connections are so deep that they felt compelled to make a significant gift, as Josh said, perhaps the largest one in the history of athletics, and in a way that really is a game changer. Folks, this is a significant recognition of the value proposition not only of this university, but the value proposition of its athletic program. So we are very grateful to have Dale and Chris here today, and for their gift that really does drive home the value proposition of the mission of the university, that they were willing to invest in such a high level. as was indicated, this is a unique gift. While the majority of it is aimed at athletic initiatives, during the process of discussing this opportunity, it became very clear that they wanted to make a significant impact by honoring the family legacy with an investment not only on the athletic side, but on the academic side of as well. And I can tell you the fact that they're interested in what we call degree completion, where most of you may not understand that's a critical agenda for all of higher education. Far too many of our young people get very, very close to finishing their degrees but don't have quite the resources or the opportunities to wrap up those degrees. And so, Chris and Dale, thank you for understanding the value proposition of that part of the academic side of the house. And I can tell you, perhaps only exceeded by Dean King Lee, we were very excited to learn of their commitment to invest in the most innovative college of medicine in the country. And we're very pleased to have King as our dean. And he did such a job on, this is after the investment, not necessarily before it, explaining to Chris and Dale the value proposition of their investment that I think both of them might be applying next year. I'm not sure.
But we wouldn't get in.
Well, anyway, my point is, folks, that this is the nature of contemporary philanthropy, out-of-the-box thinking, where donors' interests, I think, over the last several decades, and I'm glad to see it play out at this university, where the donors' primary interests are honored, but you also honor the other parts of what they want to invest in. And this is my hat's off to Chris and Dale for thinking this way, but also I would be remiss if I didn't congratulate Josh and Howard and the rest of the team for being and demonstrating the kind of collaboration, the kind of one university thinking that is necessary to propel this university to the level of excellence that we all aspire to. So I'm very, very excited to be here in one of the most exciting weeks in the history of this great university. Thank you all, and we appreciate the opportunity. And again, Chris and Dale, thank you to the entire family. We are very, very appreciative.
The story of how I recruited Lovie Smith to come up here to be our football coach has been pretty well told. The part of it that maybe hasn't been told is I promised him, look, we're going to build a building, and it's actually going to have your last name on it. And if you look at the drawing, his office is going to be over there just on the west side of the second floor, right under the word Smith. And that was really the linchpin to getting him to move here from Florida. So without further ado, excited to hear a few comments from our head football coach, Lovie Smith.
Thank you, Josh. What an exciting time. I mean, what can I say? Our players each day get an opportunity to go out on our new practice fields, and they get a chance to watch the men that are building our new facility. They show up every day on time, and we see them putting the building together, brick by brick, board by board, and we just kind of see their commitment to our program. They all want to see, of course, Illinois football back on top. Well, as you look at our football team a little bit, now the building isn't complete right now, but eventually that finished product will be something special. We see our football team the same way. We're not a finished product right now, but our guys show up every day, consistently on time, doing their job, and just play by play get better and better. That's going to lead to an exciting weekend, of course, coming up. As we put our program together, a part of the process, too, is recruiting a little bit and new personnel coming in. And for us, we need game changers. And we feel like we're getting game changers that are going to, become a household name for Illinois football. Well, I know, Chancellor, you talked about a game changer. Well, we definitely got a game changer today. The gift And I, on a personal note, have gotten a chance to know, of course, Chris and Dale. They've been there, just encouragement. Spring ball, training camp practices throughout. Also today, they got a chance to come and see their favorite football team practice. And we didn't tell the players, they didn't know anything about the gift. But you can imagine their excitement, our excitement, when Josh announced this generous gift. Each one of our guys, I think, to a man, came up and personally thanked them. We just feel good about someone making that commitment to stand next to us, shoulder to shoulder. And when you have someone like that making a commitment and you see their belief, it does make you want to play harder. Josh did talk about knowing that we needed to upgrade our facilities where we're on par with every team in the country, and that's exactly where we will be. That finished product we talked about on the football field, can't wait to take this next step, year 3 with it. But again, on behalf of our football team, Chris, Dale, and the Smith family, of course, we Smiths have to stay together.
Yeah.
We just thank you for your commitment to us and your belief in us, and welcome aboard, of course, to the team. Thank you.
Last, of course, is the opportunity to hear from our two guests of honor, and I can tell you it's been a distinct privilege over the last 2.5 years to have the opportunity to get to know these two gentlemen. We travel the country, we meet with a lot of people in a lot of different life circumstances, and I can tell you that their humility, their generosity, they are inspiring for me and for so many others. It really is remarkable, the life that they've lived and the way that they continue to demonstrate their values, to the ways that they continue to put their resources to good use to make this world a better place, and we're just grateful that they have chosen to invest in the way that they have here at the University of Illinois and with Fighting Illini Athletics. And so we'll hear from Dale first and then Chris, but again, our two guests of honor, Dale and Chris Smith.
I definitely have to adjust the mic down, but not that much. I want to share the fact that not only are these folks up here excited about this, we're really excited. This is something that we think reflects the loyalty and commitment that our parents had over the many years they were Illini fans. As Josh indicated, they came up in the 50s and were season ticket holders for the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and the first 2 decades of this century. So their commitment was unflagging and unwavering throughout some times that weren't so good. But they were always college football fans, and that was their favorite sports, particularly Dad's. The day Dad proposed to Mom was kind of an extraordinary day. Mom went to the University of South Carolina, which was based in Columbia, and they went to a University of South Carolina game that afternoon. And afterwards, what could be more romantic than to drive down to Charleston, where my father had gone to the Citadel to see a second football game. At the conclusion of that, Dad did have the romantic inclination to take Mom down by the Battery by Charleston Harbor. And on a moonlit night, went ahead and proposed to her, figuring if she'll go to 2 football games in one day, I've got the right one. And he did. So we came up in a college football family, and it was very oriented on Illinois football. There's nothing more exciting than seeing us do well, and it meant a great deal to, I think, all of us personally. So when we looked at this opportunity to make a lasting mark on the campus and to commemorate their commitment, it seemed like a welcome opportunity and an opportunity to go ahead and share some of what we've gained over the years. So having Mom and Dad's name on the building, the Henry Dale and Betty Smith Football Center, means a lot to us. While there have been some down years, one of the years I remember was when I was a very young boy. I'm emphasizing that I was a very young boy. I went to the 1964 Rose Bowl with Dad, and we got to see the Illinois team led by Dick Butkus. And it was a game where the West Coast media were kind of deriding Illinois, feeling like these guys from the Midwest didn't really have a chance. And yet Illinois came out and dominated that game. They won it handily, and at the end, the Illini guys who were supposed to be too slow and out of shape, couldn't compete, picked up their helmets in their hands and ran a victory lap around the Rose Bowl. So it seems completely fitting that on the outside of the new football center, there will be a statue of Dick Butkus, the co-captain of that team, and I think something that they would both appreciate. We hope the center will help train and teach the student athletes of today and tomorrow, and that the activities of athletes like that 64 Rose Bowl team will inspire them and give them things to aspire to in their years here playing football at Illinois. Thank you. Chris?
Thank you, Dale, for sharing that cherished family memory. For Dale, for me, the memory is I didn't get to go because I was too little. But it is a cherished family memory, and in our suite, we have a photograph of that Rose Bowl game in the suite as a reminder of that great victory and the fact that Dad and Dale were there in attendance. So in talking about this gift, in addition to honoring our father and mother, our gift is an absolute endorsement of Josh Whitman's leadership of Illinois athletics and Lovie Smith's leadership of Illinois football. Because of the integrity, intelligence, and incredible work ethic of these fine gentlemen, we believe Illinois athletics in general, and Illinois football specifically, will be successful, meaning we will win, and we will do it the right way. You know, sometimes doing it the right way takes a little longer, but we're in it for the long haul. When I was an undergrad at Illinois, we won 11 games in 4 years, and I went to every home game. Believe me, I am both a passionate and a patient fan. My freshman year, Lou Henson was a first-year coach at Illinois. I watched him build the Illinois basketball program the right way, slowly, steadily, brick by brick. Now, I'm going to thoroughly enjoy watching Lovie Smith do the same thing with Illinois football. We're delighted to be able to support this effort. Thank you very much.
I think we're gonna pull this podium to the side and maybe take a couple photographs, but all of us in attendance, media, you don't have to clap if you don't want to, but obviously everybody else, let's give a big final round of applause to Chris and Dale for their incredible generosity. Thank you, Dale. Thank you. Let's get this down.